All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a indie book review called Band of the Crow from Crowfire Studios. Came in a box, which was really nice. I already opened it and read it. And it was successfully crowdfunded on crowdfunded sites like Indiegogo and Kickstarter. All right. And it's made by Arvid Nelson, who is the writer, and Oren, who is the artist. And I must say, it's really good. It's really fun. It's about, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to talk to you. Look at this nice logo. You got a sticker from Band of the Crow, right? This is the book that's underneath, but we have also a thank you print. It's really nice. Thank you for taking the chance at Band of Crow. If you liked it, let people know in real life and online. A little word of mouth goes a long way, and it's the sincerest compliment you could give us. Look at this art, very nice. Yeah. And this cover. There's another cover as well. I'm not sure if there's 2 or 3 covers. Now, this is the book, but before we go dive into this book, I want to show you also how the box looks like. It's nice red in the inside here. And look at this. Welcome to Britannia. Brigantia, I'm sorry. This is so cool. This is so cool. They have a sword on the side here and the logo. The logo is really nice. So I'm going to put the box away, and then we're going to talk about the book a little bit here and there. By the way, if you don't want to get spoiled, I'm going to spoil everything. So be warned, because this is a review, and there's 32 pages around that, right? Yeah, it comes. This book came also in a bag and board that I'm not showing right now, but this is a little bit oversized, so this is not traditional American floppy. It's bigger. And the art that you see on the cover is also the art on the inside, which makes it real cool. It's very lovely to see this everything when it comes to quality. It's great. Now, the big shocker for me was that the book was only $3, $3. Now, I thought to myself, is that sustainable? No, because I'm making a book myself. If you're selling a book for $3, that's not how you make money or to do the next one. But the reason that Arvid and Oren, this whole Crowfire Studio team, did this is, I see this more like an introductionary crowdfund campaign. Their goal was to get the book into people's hands. More like a word of mouth, but more like, hey, I'm, giving you this book, quote unquote, for relatively cheap, so that you can basically more like a preview, but it's not really a preview. It's a complete book, a complete first chapter. There's more coming, and they say, well, the next chapter will be more expensive. But for $3, I thought, this is a good way for, this is a marketing strategy to get this in people's hands. I mean, normally a book would be around $15 or higher, depends on the quality and how many pages, etc. But yeah, look at this. The art, spectacular. Really, really, really good. So without further ado, let's dive in. I'm gonna, introduce the story a little bit here. It's a little bit high fantasy, a little bit sorcery in here, trolls as well. Now, first of all, look at this in the inside. It's thick paper, it's 100 grams. The interior is glossy paper, it's 80 grams. I believe it's 80 grams offset. I have to remember this because this really feels nice, right? So the story begins here like, one can say, whence came the eternal cold that swept over the known worlds 8 centuries ago? On the eye of the great winter was born the holy daughter Julian, into this far-flung isle of the cast. Now, if you look closely, look at this. I hope you can see it, but this looks like watercolored. Lettering, like it's watercolor. It's really nicely done. Probably the video doesn't do it justice, but yeah, it feels very nice. Sorry, I have to stand up because of the oversized. Normally, having a floppy size, so I zoomed it out a little bit here. Julian foretold the coming of the terrible giants who burst forth with the cold, but most chose to ignore her warnings, persecuting the brave few who dared to accept her. And so it was, year after year, until our people arrived on the shore, embracing the faith of the God-child and conquering in her name. With Julian's teachings in the art of sorcery, when would we turn back all devouring giants? Now we are all that remains of mankind. Look at this art, man. Look how many details is insane here. And not only the art is spectacular, the coloring as well. I wonder if Oren, who is the artist, is also doing the color. I mean, it's not really clear if he's doing the coloring, but the coloring is really, really nice to look at. Ever must we defend this, our island's refuge. The great Frusk lurks ever beyond our shores. And this, look at this. I mean, I cannot imagine how many hours Oren, the artist, has to, put into this to get this. It's so beautiful to look at. And this, one of the other pages, look at the lighting, the coloring. It's great. So this young boy is praying for he is preparing for some kind of a ordeal, if you will. And then somebody is behind him. Trolls. I cannot believe how good this looks. Amazing. So they are basically here to get gold, and then this young boy is shouting, but he says, "Hey, we are only here for gold. So if you shout, there won't be any bloodshed, right?" But he says, "Well, this is a house of the goddess. There is no money here, but of course there is gold." So this troll wants to say, "Hey, no more." And he's losing his patience, if you will. But then, out of nowhere, sorry for the in and out focus. That's because I'm just, moving the book a lot. They are being attacked by shadows, and they cannot defend themselves. But the one that is casting it is a sorceress called Ancasta, and she has come here to rescue this young boy called Ferial. Is it Ferial? Yes. He said, "What are you doing here?" I walked the nut tomorrow. I couldn't sleep. And I came to pray. And then the troll said, "There's a witch. She's the one using the shadows against us. Not for long." And they want to attack her. Right? But then she's just using just with a gesture of her hand like this. She is just throwing this creature away. But then other trolls are attacking her. But she's way too powerful. And basically they are being thrown out of this, I don't know, is this a citadel? What is this actually? What this place, right? This building. This holy place, right? And so she's letting basically them go. And she says, run back to your home, tell the rest of your kind. But then she's falling on her knees because she has been exhausted because of, what she did, right? But then her husband comes, and her husband is worried. Yeah. He said, "You are hurt. Do you require assistance?" "I'm afraid you are too late, my husband," she says. And the gone, then the trolls, they are gone. He said, "You overtired yourself." And it seems that she is pregnant. But I just immediately am a little bit cautious of this guy because how he handles the situation, right? He says, "Only I wished arrived in time to help." Ferial was there with the trolls and those trolls in the chapel. They had him pinned to the wall, and they had him a few moments longer than they might have. And, well, then, I don't know, other people come, and I believe these are royalty, maybe, kings and queens, I'm not entirely sure. But it seems that they are important. And this guy's called Milmorin. He says, "Your Grace, what happened, trolls?" "I'm afraid so, Father. You're unfortunate I happened to be here." "Wait, what?" "What do you mean?" You mean you say you dealt with them? Let's just say they won't be returning anytime soon." Right. Now that's a little bit strange. Um, he says, "Your Grace, I only wish the students could have seen you. I think of no better inspiration for them on the eve of the walk. But it's strange, is it not? It's been years since the trolls tried something like this. What could have prompted them? I think it hardly matters, Father. They are gone. Well, for now." Interestingly, and if you look at this layout, it seems that there's a lot of white on the side, right? As you can see here. Not always. I mean, if you go a little bit back here, you see a little bit smaller borders. But then most of these pages are, thicker borders. This is an interesting choice. Not a bad choice. I mean, it's just, looks good. All right. So Firion has been taken away. And so this guy says, "You understand, of course, better if everyone believes it was I who drove off the trolls. I'm their male, after all. The sworn protector. I must maintain my I'm not a native English speaker. Magisterial authority." And she says, "Yeah, okay, don't trouble yourself." Meanwhile, the next day, I believe, they are students of magic, and they're here in this room. And Virion is being, basically interrogated by all the other students and say, "Hey, what happened? Did you see trolls, right?" And he said, "Yeah, I heard Morin crushed them." "Morin? He didn't do a thing. It was all Encasta." "Encasta? Yeah, everything happened so fast," he says. "Hold on, aren't you related to Encasta or something?" "I'll be next spring." So he's then maybe her successor. I mean, he wants to be her successor if he's training hard. So Morin the Fifth, Lord Protector of the Midlands, is giving a speech to these young students. He says, "This is my fail. With this I smashed the Trolley's warband, drove them shrieking into the darkness. So each of you, one of you, hopes to gain this power. You may have studied sorcery here for 10 winters, and now your studies are complete." He says that after this, they have to take an ordeal. They have to cut a sprig of the endless knots behind this abbey. And if they can do that, they will become full-fledged sorcerers. But it's not without perils and danger. Some of them are not coming back. Some of them are lost. Some of them, are, losing their faith. Only the strong will endure, basically, and then become a sorcerer, right? That's basically what they need to do. "Assemble before the knot, all of you. It's time." But then, Firial says is being bullied by these guys, and he says he's talking about you, disappearing, getting scared. Morin was talking about you. "You know what I heard? I heard you piss yourself last night with those trolls, like father and like son, I guess." So they are bullying about his father, taking the trial, but he failed, and then when he did it again, he's just disappeared. Makes Firial a little bit angry, so he's charging at them. But then, one of the bullies is just, pushes him down, and then he bites his hands. But before they do anything to them, this guy, I don't know, maybe a teacher, I guess, saying, "Today you walk the endless knot. You will become sorcerers, some of you. I suggest you start acting the part." All right. Look at this. This looks so cool. So they're doing some kind of a ritual here, drinking from some kind of cup, right? So Firion comes here, but then he hesitates. Now, what comes next surprised me a little bit. I cannot figure it out what's really happening here. So it seems that he is throwing this cup into her face or something, and dupe. That's a little bit weird. I really don't get that. And so he's been, scolded for being clumsy, and he says, "May Goddess guide to your path, Firial." So he hangs his head in shame, and then he goes to this room where they have to disperse and find their own way, because it's a trial for only one person. Every person has to do their own trial, right? And so the other guys saying, "Hey, is this true, Firial? about your father? Would you leave him alone? So this guy, the other one, maybe his friends try to comfort him, you know. I see you on the other side. Walk with Julian. Walk with Julian, Vivian says. And then the last page is a maze. Probably the knot, or maybe the knot is here at the end of this tree. Of yeah, and that's the book for now. Mother of mercy, midwife of sun and moon, holy goddess, hear this thy humble servant's prayer. Yeah, and we have some sketches, I guess. And again, it looks so good. Sorry for the bad resolution, guys. It just goes in and out of focus the whole time. Yeah, this is quality. This is real good quality. The book is nice to look at. The story is interesting. You know, this 32-esque book is just more like an introduction of what's to come. To pique your interest, that's the whole, you know, purpose of this campaign. And I think it did a phenomenal job with the quality, with the box, with the paper stock, of course, the gorgeous art and the coloring. I think this is a fantastic looking book. And I'm definitely on board with, you know, volume 2 or issue number 2 if it's come out this year or next year. But I'm, you know, I think the creative team did a great job, and I'm really enjoying this. So, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Hope you have a great time. Yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.